I'm recording this bit after finishing most of the video because I realize this video is over 10 minutes long and perhaps not everybody wants to sit through a 10-minute long video. So I feel like after reaching out to the content creator, which is something that happened after I recorded my original video, this is probably the best way to summarize the events for anyone who just wants a TLDR. And the summary events from the person in question named Tiramasu says, I posted about knowing J.K. Rowling was an issue and said I still wanted to get Hogwarts Legacy and the game. I was met with about 50% hate comments of me being transphobic and shit along those lines. Then maybe 10% was do what you want, it's your money. And the other 40% was ideally disagreeing with me in normal tone. I then posted responses that I got that were beyond hateful, which led to more hate comments, etc. A few tweets later, I posted a meme someone had commented, it's a literal dark humor joke which people forgot existed, and I was again met with more shit and backlash. I feel like that's an accurate summary of events after independently researching this nuanced subject. So if that's all you came for, great, thank you so much for the view, leave a thumbs up. If you're interested in the full context and the full exploration, stick around, there's a lot of nuance to go through. We've already covered the Hogwarts Legacy stuff in a different video, but it looks like this is something that has come up again, so I guess we gotta cover it, because now it's affecting somebody specific to the point where they're thinking about dropping out of the VTuber community entirely, so let's get into this. So before I cover the actual news topic itself, let me just summarize what we talked about in the previous video so everybody's on board with where I stand. The whole controversy centers around J.K. Rowling, who wrote the Harry Potter books, and is probably one of the most well-documented people in terms of transphobia, at least as far as people that aren't specifically political commentators. So, whether or not she does not like trans people is not a matter for debate. This is probably one of the most well-documented things in entertainment history. Now because of that, when the game Hogwarts Legacy came out and a whole bunch of streamers were excited to play the new Harry Potter game because Harry Potter is a genuinely fun series, everybody who does so seems to get a shit ton of backlash from the community when they expressed interest in playing the game. And I gotta say, even though I'm not a fan of people buying the game because I don't want to put money in J.K. Rowling's pocket for reasons we've already discussed, I also don't think it's any of the internet's business to police what game streamers do and do not play, because just because they're excited to play a game doesn't mean that they're inherently transphobic. And I even spoke to trans VTubers about this issue in the previous video, and they more or less agreed with my sentiment. And that brings us to today, where Ray Adams tagged me in this post saying, okay, this is getting out of hand, time to bring in the big guns. And I gotta say, thank you for calling me one of the big guns and putting me up there with Rev and Kyo and False and all of them guys. Very cool. Very cool indeed. But he states, I've got a story for you. This VTuber has been harassed to the point where she's now considering graduating after stating that she has debated streaming Hogwarts Legacy, and then provided a link to the tweet. Unfortunately, she ended up deleting that tweet and it no longer exists. But luckily the story does not stop there because both this person and the friend of the channel gave me a little bit more context to work with. Ray replying to my comment and providing me the Twitlonger that the VTuber made about this post. Now, before we get into her actual Twitlonger and some of this other stuff, I'm going to rewind just a little bit and tell you about Tiramisu VTuber. She is an NSFW VTuber, and I went through what's got to be months of tweets to see if she has ever made a comment about the LGBT community in the past, be it positive or negative. And to be honest, after reviewing her the past couple months of her Twitter, she just releases NSFW fan art and memes and general life stuff. This is the first time she's ever gotten involved with the LGBT community, and it's a shame that this has to be one of her first interactions with that community online. And the next thing that I want to do before I read her Twitlonger is I want to cover what this is actually all about. Apparently there was a meme posted saying, I've pre-ordered Hogwarts Legacy and I'm really excited to play it. Pete, that game causes harm to the trans community and fuels anti-Semitism. The anti-Semitism being a remark to how the goblins in the Harry Potter games are coded as Jewish to the point where they even have a Star of David on the floor of their bank. So, not great stuff. But the meme response from Peter here saying, I just told you I've already bought the game, you don't need to sell it to me. Which, gotta be honest, not a fan of that meme. It implies that people like the fact that J.K. Rowling is a transphobic and an anti-Semite. Not a big fan of that. However, Tiramisu decided to reply to this meme and say, I'm saving this, crying handshake. As soon as I saw this reply, I immediately saw where this was going. And where it was going is backlash. So for this next segment, I'm going to first cover responses to her original tweets that I thought were a little bit more valid and slightly more balanced. And then after that, I'm going to cover some of the more extreme and unreasonable responses that I feel are definitely not valid and are a better example of the type of hate and backlash that you can receive when you say something the internet doesn't like. I feel like it's important to show both sides because I feel like there are members of this community that are trying to make a point and members of this community that are just angry for the sake of being angry. And I want to show the full spectrum of what happened. There seems to be a lot of people who I assume are in the LGBT community who are trying to let her know that the money that J.K. Rowling makes off of this video game is going to her, and she actively contributes money to anti-LGBT groups. Now, after the backlash, she tried to say that she is not transphobic. However, immediately after saying that, people responded with, "You say this as if it's not documented. You saved a meme saying wanting harm towards trans and LGBT+ is a good thing," which, not gonna lie, it is not a good look. Now, Tiramasu tried to defend herself again, claiming that she is in fact part of the LGBT community. I did go through both her profile and several months of tweets, and I've never seen her mention that before, but I'll take her word for it because I have no reason not to believe her. Quite literally immediately after I say that exact line, I actually got a DM back from Tiramisu where she was able to elaborate on a few key points, so I'm going to be dropping in various things that she said as they come up in the video to give you all a broader context of what her side of the story is. So to be specific, I asked her about her status as someone in the LGBT, and she clarified that she is pansexual and non-binary. However, she goes by she, they. She doesn't really discuss it openly as she doesn't feel the need to, because for the most part, everybody just goes by she, her pronouns, and for me, and that's fine. She then goes on to say that she had zero issues with anyone on this planet and she doesn't know how this has gotten so far out of hand. And how it got so out of hand is what we're currently discussing, so stay tuned. I'll be including more screenshots as the video progresses. People replied saying, being a part of the LGBT community, but not trans, doesn't mean you're not transphobic, especially for knowingly liking a transphobic meme. So now that I've covered some of the responses that have been a little bit more reasonable and a little bit more explanatory, it's time to get into some of the hate comments. And as expected, a lot of these are very unreasonable and definitely over the top. For example, when she posted her Twitlonger, she got a comment saying, "Actually shut the fuck up. We all saw your replies to other posts about this fucking game. You're a transphobe and an anti-Semitic piece of shit. Disappear into even more obscurity so we never have to see you again." And when she made her comment saying that she was not transphobic for playing a video game, she got this reply, "You right now. The VTubing community would be better without you in it. The door is right there." And then they show the screenshot of her replying to the meme and then some gif that I don't recognize. And after that comment, she received another comment saying, "Definitely quit. Give up. Go away. None of us should have to look at you long enough to press the block button. Do one good thing with your life and stay away from us." Now, she went on to say that there were a lot more nasty replies, and I'm absolutely confident that there are more than I could cover in a video, but because they are blanketly hateful and there's no nuance there, there's not a lot for me to comment on other than to say I'm genuinely sorry that this happened to this content creator. She went on to say that she really just wants to move past this, but it's really hard to do so because people are lurking over her account to comment shit. She's tried deleting tweets because of the constant hate, but it just keeps coming, and it's very hard to move past a situation like this. Now, I haven't asked this content creator to watch my video, but on the off chance that they do find it and do decide to watch it, I do want to clarify that even though I am critical of what you said, and I tried to provide all angles to this situation, I do want to say I empathize with what you went through. I can only imagine how stressful it is, and I don't think that this means that you should just up and leave. If you're happy and fulfilled making content, then that is what you should do. When you are a content creator and you suddenly get flooded with a ton of comments like this and get flooded with a ton of backlash, it is extremely overwhelming. And I also don't like the implication that just because you disagree with somebody's choice in video game, that then gives you free reign to send them a bunch of negative comments, and it is definitely nobody's place to police somebody's video gaming preferences. Becoming the target of a bunch of backlash online fucking sucks. It demolishes your self-worth, your self-esteem, your mental health. It just goes straight down the shitter. And I would never wish that amount of negative attention on anybody. Brief video intermission here. I just wanted to let you all know that I have actually written a light novel called Writing on Midnight. You can find the link to this light novel in the description below. If you purchase it, it would really support the channel. Back to the show. Alright, and now on to the Twitlonger that they made about the situation. Tiramasu saying, "So I made a post, as many of you know, and retweeted it and quote retweeted it. This is the last time I'm saying this because at this point I'm really sick of just saying the same thing over and over again. I am part of the LGBTQ community. I don't know where the fuck it even came up or who straight up lied, but I care about everyone. That being said, I don't fucking support JK Rowling. I really never have." She goes on to say, "I just like Harry Potter and I like the game itself. It looks cool to run around and throw spells at bad guys. I am not apologizing for liking a concept and a video game. I've been harassed in the DMs and quote retweets and whatever else, and I tell people that, but I'm met with, they're just responding to your tweet because you asked. I asked for a response, and if you had a disagreement, that's perfectly fine, but I'm not going to sit here and be insulted and called an idiot, a fool, and a white, straight, cis female because I'm excited for a game? That's fucking stupid. I proceeded to laugh and save a meme that shows dark humor, to which, again, Twitter did its thing where everybody turns on you and decides that you're a horrible human being for laughing over a meme. This community is so unnecessarily toxic. I have huge accounts that follow me, unfollow me, because they don't want to be associated with me because I'm interested in a fucking video game. I have people in my DMs asking if I genuinely hate trans people. After this entire thing, I was debating even staying as a VTuber even after my reveal because people have just upset me to the core over this and how much of a witch hunt Twitter is. I mean, if I can just speak from personal experience, I run a VTuber drama channel and I have content every fucking day, my guys. Every fucking day I have content on a VTuber drama channel. So anytime people make the criticism, God, this community is toxic sometimes. Yeah, no, it is. I witness it every day. And to round things off, she later stated, "If you're new and looking for advice on joining the VTuber community, don't. It's toxic, and if you say anything they consider wrong, you're canceled and people send you death threats. This is the internet, and people are horrible, and people will send death threats over the dumbest shit imaginable, and to send death threats over a meme in a video game is pretty fucking absurd, even if I don't personally agree with the meme or the video game. I have the ability to be critical without being hateful, and it is a shame that the other people in this community cannot do the same." But that's the news incorporated with a little bit of my opinion. I will be holding all comments for review. And that is because the last time I talked about this, there were a shit ton of hateful and a shit ton of transphobic comments that were left in my comments section, and I was not a fan of that. So if you leave a comment and then you go back and you see your comment is missing, it doesn't necessarily mean it was deleted, it just means it's held for review, and I haven't gotten around to reviewing it yet. So despite the fact that I am holding all comments for review, I will still read all comments, so feel free to leave your opinions in the comment section down below. I hope you all have a great day. Bye guys.